For years, your daily skincare routine likely felt like a solved equation, but eventually those same formulas start producing a different result. You reach your mid to late 20s and discover that the cleansers and serums that once kept your skin clear are suddenly struggling. Blemishes begin appearing in new areas, and the overall texture of your skin starts to feel rough or inconsistent. The common reaction is to look in the mirror and assume the products had expired, or that your skin is beginning a process of premature failure. These changes signal that the skin has crossed a biological threshold. It is shifting into a phase where the internal rules of operation have changed, primarily driven by shifts in hormones and structural proteins. Continuing to use an oil-stripping regimen designed for a teenager on a face that is naturally producing less oil actively attacks and breaks down your primary defense barrier. When those new breakouts appear, the standard instinct is to increase the intensity of the treatment. People often reach for stronger exfoliating acids, operating on the belief that they need to clear out excess oil to solve the problem. The biological reality is often the opposite. In your late 20s, estrogen levels naturally fluctuate and drop, making skin drier. As estrogen dips, relative androgen activity increases, triggering adult acne and creating deep, painful blemishes along the jawline. This shift also impacts the skin's physical resilience. With less estrogen to support its structure, the skin becomes thinner, loses moisture more easily, and heals much slower than in your early 20s. Applying high-percentage salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide to this newly thinned adult profile creates significant irritation. Attempting to aggressively dry out hormonal adult acne destroys the lipid barrier, the fatty molecules that hold your skin cells together. This turns a localized hormonal symptom into widespread inflammation and vulnerability. That sudden vulnerability is frequently mistaken for rapid aging. When the face appears duller or less firm, many people pivot to an aggressive anti-aging arsenal in an attempt to stop the clock. The data suggests a much more gradual process. Collagen, the protein responsible for the skin's structural firmness, actually peaks in your early 20s. This line graph shows the long-term trend. Starting at age 25, collagen production enters a steady decline, dropping roughly 1% every year. By your early 30s, you see the cumulative manifestation of 5 years of slow decline. Reacting to this transition with a sudden influx of harsh chemicals further compromises a barrier that is already losing its structural elasticity. These visible changes are the result of a natural biological cycle. Responding with chemical panic only serves to accelerate the weakening of the skin's structural integrity. There is a widespread belief that fixing these biological shifts requires a complex, overnight overhaul of your entire routine. Dermatology research indicates the solution is simpler. The most effective way to transition the skin is through gradual, barrier-supportive adjustments introduced one at a time. Rebuilding the broken lipid layer requires ingredients like ceramides, which act as the mortar between skin cells, and niacinamide, which helps soothe the skin's increased sensitivity. Consistent daily use of a broad-spectrum sunscreen provides a defensive shield, preventing UV light from further breaking down your remaining collagen. Finally, retinoids can be introduced to support cell turnover and collagen production, provided they are started very gradually to avoid overwhelming the skin's barrier. Your skin is entering a new phase of adaptation, following the same developmental patterns it has used throughout your life. Understanding the biological truth of what happens beneath the surface allows you to work with your natural skin barrier instead of against it. For more evidence-based breakdowns, subscribe to the channel. New videos every week.